Okay, so my take on why liberals won't define woman, it's because they can't. If they did, then their entire issue around who can be a man and who can be a woman falls apart. So you have, by definition, male, which is born man, okay, or born of the male reproductive organs. Then you have female, born of the female reproductive organs. You have a man who experiences manhood at the age of puberty, when his testosterone and his aldosterone and all these other chemicals come in. And for female, you have her experience the menstrual cycle. And when she experiences the menstrual cycle, this is when her ovulation starts and she becomes a woman. So woman is defined as having your menstrual cycle and experiencing womanhood. Womanhood goes from the time that, you know, basically you're born to when you start your menstrual cycle, through your birth years, and then towards the end when you stop having your menstrual cycle. Manhood continues on. It's your experience. It's your aldosterone, your chemicals, the way your brain operates. Okay, now after that you have femininity and masculinity. Femininity is not limited to women or men, and masculinity is not limited to women or men. So you have men who can be masculine, but you also have men who can be feminine, but you have men who can be both masculine and feminine, because masculinity and femininity is of the mind. Okay, it's how you feel about yourself. So women can also be feminine or masculine or both. Usually you're both, and then you just have more one than the other. So they won't define woman, because if they defined woman, the whole case for their men changing their sex and becoming women falls apart, because those men will never experience, or those men who become women through surgeries will never experience a menstrual cycle, or they'll never experience giving birth, and so they'll never experience being a woman. They'll never enter into the age of womanhood, and they'll never be a woman. Okay, so I want to talk for a second about male gayness. If you think of type 2 diabetes, there are people who have type 2 diabetes, and either the cell cannot take up the insulin, or the body doesn't make enough insulin. Either way, it results in too much glucose in the blood. Okay, so for men, it's a matter of aldosterone. Either the cells are not picking up the aldosterone, or the body is not producing enough aldosterone. Either way, it results in the same response, which is to default to a feminine mind, a more feminine mind. So when they put these men who have these problems, these low aldosterone problems or high aldosterone problem in the blood without being able to be used in the cells, they put them in these, I guess, these CTs or MRIs or whatever, and they scan their brains, and they show them sexual materials while they scan their brains. And if they have low aldosterone, their brains will not react the way a man with proper aldosterone and aldosterone usage, the way his brain reacts. It'll react in the default, which is to react as a woman's brain does. So when they put these women in these machines, the woman has a response in certain part of her brain to sexual stimulation. So when a man's either has not enough aldosterone, or the aldosterone's not going into the cells, his brain responds as a woman's. So some of these men, they're born male, they don't get enough aldosterone, they don't fully experience manhood, because when they have sex, their brains responds as a woman. And then when they're having sex with a woman, they feel like they're in the wrong body, they're in the wrong place. However they feel like their body and their mind doesn't match. So they get the surgery to try to match their body to their mind. And once they have the surgery, they expect everyone to just accept that now they're a woman when they're not a woman, because they'll never experience womanhood. They want to experience womanhood, and it's sad that they can't, but You know, it's just like a hermaphrodite. They can only do so much, and then they have to work within those limits, and you kind of just gotta go with what you got, you know. So that's my take on why the liberals won't define womanhood, because then it would have to remove the men, even after they have a sex change operation, from women's sports, as well as all these other crazy things they have going on. So like, share, and subscribe.